before we get started, I do this every time I get to talk to Hugh. I just want to remind everyone watching this interview that Cloud Atlas is a masterpiece and you need to watch it. If you have never seen it, it is a phenomenal movie. I just have to say that every time because I love that movie so much. Now we can talk to why, anything else you guys want to talk about.
I think it's a fantastic movie myself.
Yeah,
thanks, Steve. I've come to really love you in the last 24 hours.
The movie's amazing. So for both of you guys, if someone has actually never seen anything that you've done before, what is the first thing you'd like them to watch and why?
I don't know. I don't have any. I'd like them to see this film. I mean, that's so self-serving, but I only like the movies that I've just done. I've never liked the ones that I've done previously. I always think of the things that that went wrong, and the one that I've not seen yet that I've just finished, I know is going to be brilliant. And then I see it and, I don't know if it lives up to expectations or not, but I think this one does. That was a very philosophical answer, but not very clear. This one's great.
I've heard this from a lot of actors, though. I can assume that you're not a fan of watching yourself on screen.
Not particularly, no.
Yeah, I've heard this from a number of people. Hugh, do you have a film or a project?
On the contrary, I love to watch myself, and in fact, I insist that my children watch me every night. If they don't get fed. They can pick the film, but they have to watch a daddy film every night.
I'm curious what they think about Paddington 2. But anyway, moving into so you guys have both worked with Guy before, and what's fascinating about Guy as a filmmaker is he likes to rework the script on the day of filming, and he's very spontaneous, which is unlike many other directors. Can you sort of talk about collaborating with him and what's it really like on set each day?
Well, it's alarming. That is alarming up to a point, and I have had tense moments with him about it because I don't know why I like very, very deep, thorough preparation. It makes me marginally less terrified on the day, but actually there is another way to go about the whole acting business, which is to think, well, I have no preparation. Let's just wing it, and in a way that takes pressure off. Because you think, well, if there was no script and I didn't have to learn it, and there's no expectation here, so it can work in your favor. But it's alarming. It's alarming to act commando the whole time.
Acting commando is about exactly the way you have to put it. It's scary at first, but once you rip the Band-Aid off, I think it's comforting knowing that the director is not exactly certain what he wants until he sees it, and then when he sees it, it's locked in. And that to me means that he's really paying attention and that he's sculpting something in the moment. And that's
yes, I agree with that. And it's odd how many directors, really good directors I've found, are like this. They're not script orientated very much. They're not forever looking at the script. They don't have a preconceived notion of how a line should sound or how a scene should sound. Stephen Frears was the same. He could barely tell you what scene you're shooting, but he sits there at the monitor and expects to be entertained. And is when it's entertaining and when it's not. That's his only criteria.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably is good film directing, because that's the medium it is. It's you've got to entertain people through that screen, and nothing too pre-rehearsed.
I loved your two characters in the film and the way you both worked together on screen. It made me laugh a lot, especially stuff in the third act. Can you sort of talk about what you enjoyed working with each other, and who was the one who made each other laugh the most from, whatever they were doing?
I can tell you Hugh made me laugh way more than I should have.
No, Josh,
I ruined a few takes.
It is a charming subplot, actually, you and me.
It is.
I think that's the spin-off.
If there's a spin-off from this movie, it will be
we adopt
Greg in Hollywood.
Yeah, no, I think that you bring out the best in me, and I give up arms dealing, and we set up a little antique shop in Brighton.
Brighton and Palm Springs. It'll be great. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Oh.
we'll squabble a little, but we're happy. We're basically happy.
Yeah, basically. It's more than you can expect from most partnerships.
Yeah.
One of the things, Aubrey is very funny, and I'm curious if you guys could talk a little bit about working with her, because I know some of the things she says in the movie are things that she came up with, and I would imagine she caused many scenes to resolve in laughter. So what was it like working with her?
Well, yeah, she's a great comedian, and you really don't know which way she's going to go at any moment, but not only on the set but off the set. I've had dinner with about 10 different Aubreys. They look the same. But...
Yeah. I would agree with that. I think Aubrey is multi-talented, and we had a lot of fun on set trying to figure out like exactly who was going to get the snarky remark. It was always Hugh, I think, who ended up getting the brunt of it. But it was, yeah. I mean, from my perspective, being able to kind of improvise with these guys was really intimidating. Aubrey's great at it. Hugh's great at it. Jason's great at it. I mean, it's all. I was the only one who they had to help along with training wheels.
That's not true, Josh.
I had one good one, and it made it into the film.
What was it?
The Lance Armstrong one. Oh, wait, not Lance Armstrong one.
I think I know what joke you're talking about.
It's not him, but
Right. Exactly. This is obviously a film that, as we talked about, is more improvised in the moment and on set. But I'm always fascinated talking with actors about the way they prepare for like a really tough scene, something that is scripted. So for both of you, if you have something on like a Monday that is going to be tough to do, something that's going to require more out of you, can you sort of talk about how you're getting ready for a sequence like that? Are you really far out thinking about it, or are you more closer to the actual day of filming where you're really getting into it?
Well, for me, it's both. I'll start panicking about that scene months before. And, I call it my tooth combing. I go through the script in unbelievably fine detail and ask myself, why does he say that? Why does he do that? And how do you link the thoughts together? And every day you come to it, you have a slightly different perspective on it, and you understand it a bit more. And it's like, I would call it marinading. You sort of marinade in the scene, you marinade in the character. And then on the day, hopefully you throw away all your prep and try and just find it in the moment. Sometimes you have to go away and get in the mood. It's quite hard, especially if maybe everyone else is quite chipper that day and, having a good time, having a laugh on the set, and you've got to do tears. Then, that's a nightmare. You've got to go and hide yourself away, listen to your sad playlist. It's traumatic. But anyway, I have found in old age, I cry at the drop of a hat. I now have to be asked not to cry in scenes rather than to cry. How about you, Josh?
I'm going to say that I agree with you 100% on prep, but then on a film like this, where a guy is coming up with new dialogue at the last minute and maybe a new direction for your character entirely, you aren't afforded that luxury. You don't, and in a way that makes it better. This is, when working with a director like Guy, it makes it better because it's all about spontaneity. It's all about listening and reacting, which really is what, as you've said, Hugh, what the camera likes.
On that note, I need to stop. I'm just going to say thank you so much for entertaining me with this movie, and I wish you both nothing but the best.
Thank you very much.